Many wrestling fans consider the Attitude Era to be the best era in the history of WWE and the history of professional wrestling. That's because the roster was terrific from top to bottom and the product was entertaining, edgy and extremely addictive. The company's top prize of the WWE Championship was held by some of the biggest wrestling names of all time. Legends such as Stone Cold Steve Austin, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Mick Foley, The Undertaker, Triple H and others all got their hands on the coveted championship belt in those glorious years of, it's debatable as to when it started and ended, but we'll say 1997-ish to 2001-ish. Welcome to Honor Wrestling Club, and in today's video we'll be counting down the 10 best WWE Championship matches of the Attitude Era, ranked for your viewing pleasure. However, before we crack on with the list, I'd just like to firstly take a moment to welcome you to Honor Wrestling Club. It means a lot to have you here today, and we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to spend a little bit of it with us here. And whilst you are here, be sure to click that subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on any of the fun content that we produce here at Honor Wrestling Club. Welcome to the club. Now, without further ado, let's crack on with the list with number 10, Kurt Angle versus Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock versus Triple H versus The Undertaker versus Rikishi inside a Hell in a Cell match at Armageddon 2000 with a rating of 8.5 out of 10. The main event of Armageddon 2000 was the most star-studded match of the Attitude Era, and it felt truly like the titular name of the pay-per-view. Armageddon was coming. 5 WWE champions of that era, with Rikishi being the only exception, competed in a chaotic 6-man Hell in a Cell match for Kurt Angle's WWF Championship. Everybody still talks about Rikishi's great bump off the top of the cage, where he was pushed, not chokeslammed, pushed by The Undertaker. However, that's not the only reason why this was such a fantastic match. The action started off hot and didn't slow down until the end, with everyone putting on a tremendous showing that night. At the time, WWE had 3 main event feuds going into the show. Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker featuring Twin Magic, Rikishi versus The Rock featuring inappropriate gift giving, and Stone Cold versus Triple H filled with all the vehicular homicide attempts in the world. However, each and every challenger came close to winning that match at various points, but in the end, Kurt Angle managed to place one arm over his opponent and found a way to leave Armageddon still the WWE Champion. In number 9, we have The Rock vs Mankind in an empty arena match at Halftime Heat 1999, with a rating of 8.75 out of 10. In one of the most unique wrestling matches of all time, The Rock defended his newly won WWE Championship against Mankind in an empty arena match at Halftime Heat. The two rivals fought all over the arena, including the kitchen. They hit each other with everything from weapons to food. We're technically cheating in our rating system here, since there were no fans in the arena, but it's safe to say the people would have gone nuts if they were there. The ending was perfect, and just as unique as the whole match, as Mankind used a forklift to pin The Rock and regain the title, with a very funny shot of the forklift lowering down onto The Rock's chest. It's hysterical. In number 8, we have Kurt Angle vs The Rock from No Way Out 2001. With a rating of 8.75 out of 10. The Rock might have never been the greatest in-ring wrestler, but the fact he could have a crazy hardcore-like match with someone such as Mick Foley, and then put on a banger with a technical wrestler such as Kurt Angle, shows just how amazing the Great One was, truly in his prime. After dropping the title to Kurt Angle at No Mercy 2000, they finally had a rematch on pay-per-view at No Way Out 2001. Despite losing the title, this is the match that elevated Angle. Fans saw a new side of the Olympic hero when he threatened to break The Rock's effing ankle, while viciously applying the ankle lock. An unnecessary Big Show run-in didn't stop this from being great back, nor did the slightly botched finish, as The Rock won back the title after hitting the rock bottom twice. In number 7, we have Triple H vs The Rock from Backlash 2000 with a rating of 9.25 out of 10. To this day, most WWE fans think that WrestleMania 16 should have ended with The Rock finally dethroning Triple H for the WWE Championship, and they are 100% correct. They should not have been that fatal four-way match with the McMahon in every corner. But anyway, we digress. Instead, we got a confusing four-way match that we've just spoken about that also involved Royal Rumble runner-up Big Show and the recently retired Mick Foley in a match that was won by Triple H, which sent the fans home disappointed. The anticipated singles match between the Game and the Great One would take place the following month at Backlash, and it was one of the best matches of that year. Steve Austin was advertised and only appeared in the final moments, taking down all members of the McMahon-Helmsley faction, allowing The Rock to win the WWE Championship for the first time as a babyface, and during this match there are some thunderous pops, specifically when Stone Cold comes out. In number 6, we have Steve Austin vs Dude Love in a Falls Count Anywhere match at Over the Edge 1998, with a rating of 9.25 out of 10. During the Attitude Era, Stone Cold Steve Austin was the top star. From the moment Austin won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 14, WWE owner Vince McMahon was determined to take the title off the Texas Rattlesnake. Stone Cold's first challenger was Mick Foley, who started working for McMahon under his Dude Love persona. Following a controversial match at Unforgiven, McMahon made himself the special guest referee for their rematch at Over the Edge. His stooges all played a role in the match, but the special outside enforcer The Undertaker made sure that the match was at least somewhat fair, while McMahon continued to change the rules throughout the contest. Austin using McMahon's hands to count his own pinfall as Vince was knocked out moments earlier is an unforgettable ending. In number 5, with Triple H vs Cactus Jack in a title vs career Hell in a Cell match at No Way Out 2000, with a rating of 9.5 out of 10. As we mentioned earlier, Mick Foley main evented WrestleMania 16 after losing a retirement match. That retirement match took place the previous month at No Way Out. Inside Hell in a Cell, with Triple H's WWE Championship also on the line. Needless to say, as this is Mick Foley inside a Hell in a Cell, it was a brutal contest. Both men destroyed each other for nearly 25 minutes, with Foley refusing to stay down. The cage was destroyed after Hunter backdropped Cactus Jack off the top of the cell, destroying the ring canvas as well. Somehow Foley was still moving after that bump, only for Triple H to deliver a nasty pedigree for the win. In number 4, we have The Rock vs Triple H in an Iron Man match from Judgment Day 2000 with a rating of 9.5 out of 10. The Rock might have won the WWE Championship at Backlash, but his rivalry with Triple H and the McMahon-Helmsley faction was far from over. At the very next pay-per-view, the Game got his rematch in a fantastic 60-minute Iron Man match with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee. Rock and Hunter proved they could go for an hour, delivering a classic that many fans consider to be one of the greatest Iron Man matches of all time. Even King on commentary was fantastic. Jerry Lawler didn't always deliver great commentary during the Attitude Era, as a lot of it was quite racist and sexist, always about puppies. However, in this match, he was fantastic. Unfortunately, this match was of one slight negative, which is that Triple H would win the gold back in controversial fashion, as he'd win the final four via DQ in the last seconds after The Undertaker returned as the American Badass and attacked all the heels, including the Game. In number 3, we have Steve Austin vs Kurt Angle from SummerSlam 2001 with a rating of 9.5 out of 10. Wrestling fans do not like DQ finishes, especially on pay-per-view, and it's very difficult to get the balance just right so that a disqualification or count-out finish is satisfying to the fans. However, one time WWE managed to pull it off perfectly was in the WWE Championship match between Stone Cold Steve Austin, representing the Alliance, and Kurt Angle as the all-conquering WWE babyface at SummerSlam 2001. Austin and Angle had arguably the best feud during the Invasion angle, and they stole the show at the biggest party of the summer. For 22 minutes, the paranoid Austin did everything he could to walk out as the champion, attacking multiple referees to get himself disqualified, as he couldn't put away our Olympic hero. Knowing what Austin was doing on purpose, the match wasn't. After Angle delivered the ankle slam, Alliance referee Nick Patrick rang the bell, giving by a disqualification for Austin's attacks on WWE referees. How convenient, meant the Rattlesnakes walked out with the WWF Championship for the Alliance. Love it or hate it, this finish makes all the sense in the world given the story of the match, and it played out beautifully. In number 2, we have Triple H vs Cactus Jack in a street fight from Royal Rumble 2000, with a rating of 9.5 out of 10. In January 2000, Triple H was already a 3-time WWE champion, but the truth is, fans thought that the game was still far from the level of The Rock or Steve Austin. Enter Mick Foley. The hardcore legend put Triple H over in a major way during their program, especially in their street fight at the Royal Rumble in Madison Square Garden. Triple H seemed confident during the build, but the fact is, he wasn't ready to play Cactus Jack's game, able to retain the WWF Championship after hitting a nasty pedigree onto thumbtacks. And in number 1, we have The Rock vs Stone Cold Steve Austin in a no disqualification match from WrestleMania X7 with a rating of 9.75 out of 10. The main event of WrestleMania 17 between The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin was unquestionably the biggest match of the Attitude Era. Ever since Austin came back from injury in late 2000, fans saw a new side of the Texas Rattlesnake. He was more determined than ever, and more focused, and he promised to do anything it took to win back the WWE title at Mania 17. He needed to beat The Rock, more than The Rock could possibly imagine. Little did we know he'd really do anything to win back the prestigious belt. After a terrific back and forth 28-minute no disqualification match in Austin's home state of Texas, Austin shocked the world. He shook hands with his biggest rival, Vince McMahon, and who helped Austin beat The Rock. That was the end of the Attitude Era for many people, and while the finish is not loved by all, nearly everything else about this match was perfect, as it acted as a perfect career sort of eulogy, if you will, for Austin's babyface run, with loads of callbacks to previous matches. However, that's our list. What do you think the greatest WWE Championship match of all time is? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and click the subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on any of the fun content that we produce here at Honor Wrestling Club. And be sure to share this video around with your friends. Be sure to show them why we love professional wrestling here at Honor Wrestling Club. However, that's all for now. So until next time, I'd just like to thank you for watching and welcome to the club. See ya!